So what about me? Do they even care about how this affects me?
Wait, you can't just leave over this!
It's not just about you forgetting our anniversary, Mark. You're never here!
I've been working my butt off for us. What more do you want?
I want my husband back. I want us to matter more than your job! And then Dad lets go, Mom storms out, hails a taxi, and disappears from my sight. The last thing I see is Dad silently turning back into the room and slamming the door shut. The phone rings. $10,000 added to my bank account. What the fudge? Oh snap, it's from Dad!
I have to go on a business trip for 2 days. Be good at home, sweetie.
This is way more than my usual allowance. Does Dad think he can make up for it like this? As if. What I really want is for my parents to get back together. That night, instead of hanging out with friends, I spend the entire evening texting Mom. Why not? I have to try to pull her back home. Dad skipped a few meals already, Mom. I think he even forgot to brush his teeth this morning before work. I don't care about him. Are you okay, my little Minnie? I'm fine. It's just Dad who isn't. But Mom doesn't reply anymore. Anytime I bring up Dad, all I get back is this terrifying silence. But how can you catch a tiger cub without entering the tiger's den? The next day, I head to the skate park and pretend to get hurt. I end up in the hospital and my parents rush over. Perfect. Oh, my little Minnie. How could you let this happen? Wait, hold up.
If you hadn't left, she wouldn't be this upset.
And everything just blows up. My parents start arguing so loudly that security has to escort them out. Oh, great. Not giving up hope, a few days later, I have a new perfect plan. I secretly contact Dad's secretary and quickly find out where he will be dining. I cleverly arrange for Mom to be there. Maybe a romantic dinner will remind them of their first date. Dad is already there when I arrive. It looks like he's waiting for someone. Could it be Mom? Did they figure out my plan? Awesome! I sit at a table right behind Dad, ready to catch the old folks red-handed sneaking a date. God, suddenly I really need to pee! As I walk past a woman at the restroom door, her perfume makes me choke. Is there a problem? I shake my head and wave it off. Bet she's on a romantic date tonight. I come back out and Mom still hasn't arrived. But what shocks me more is that woman is now sitting next to my dad. They look so cozy it makes me want to hurl. I thought Dad was still upset about Mom leaving. It doesn't end there. While I'm freaking out, not sure what to do, Mom's been standing there the whole time. Her face is ashen and she's even more shocked than me. Dad! Ugh, I can't even with you! Mom hasn't answered my calls for days. She must be really mad.
If you're not focused while skateboarding, you could get hurt!
Right then, my skateboard slips from under my feet. But with superior skills, I land perfectly.
Wow! With skills like that sprained ankle story from the other day seems kinda off.
A guy steps in front of me. Jack, the hot manager of the skate park. I've always had a thing for his good looks, but I've never actually talked to him. Jack gives me a sense of security, making it easy for me to unload all my pent-up anger.
Huh, we're pretty similar, you know?
Huh? Jack's mom is a modern woman. She loves her job and herself more than she loves her own kid.
I had to start fending for myself when I was just 10. I don't even know who my dad is.
Hearing about his life makes my own drama seem a bit less dramatic. What now? If Dad's calling to apologize, no way I'm forgiving him that easy.
Hey, answer it. I gotta head out. Catch you later.
Ugh, looks like I've got to deal with my parents' mess before I even think about my own love life. If Dad's apologizing and wants my help to make up with Mom, fine. Why are you here? I stutter as I see the woman from earlier sitting pretty in my house.
Minnie, show some respect. This is Jane, my girlfriend.
Feels like I've been struck by 100 lightning bolts. What about Mom?
Your mom does nothing but nag. Jane here is the CEO of the corporation collaborating with my company.
So what? I'll never let her step foot in this house again! Snake!
You are way out of line, Minnie!
I close my eyes tight as Dad raises his hand. If he actually hits me because of her, I don't ever want to see him again. I hate you, Dad! I say and run out of the house. So freaking annoying! I can't deny I want to see Jack, the only person I feel like talking to right now.
Actually...
Don't tell me you think I should be understanding towards my parents.
No, who said that? Quite the opposite.
I look at Jack, his eyes twinkling with mischief and cunning. Oh yeah, I'm a rebel. Let's play a game and see who comes out on top. In the following days, I truly become the villain in my dad's new love story. Jane visits our house more often, acting all domestic. Cooking, huh? Gross. What did you put in this? It smells like it's been rotting in a stomach for 10 days. Ugh. Despite Dad's scolding, I refuse to accept anything she brings over. Ew! I only wear clothes my mom buys. One evening, I come home to find a party happening. Excuse me? I wasn't invited to a party in my own house?
Thank you all for being here today to bless Jane and me. The wedding is set for next month.
What on earth is going on here? Pinch me. Is this just a terrible nightmare? My skateboard rolls up to the stage just as Jane steps up in front of all the guests. Then she trips and falls flat on her face. I know I'd go to hell for laughing now, but it seems like there's plenty of company down there already. Dad is furious. He makes me write 100 times, "I will not meddle in others' affairs." It doesn't end there. Jane even convinces Dad to ground me for a week. Fine, I'll spend that time plotting to kick her out of our house. But before I can come up with another plan, that night, my dad comes into my room and says,
I want you to study abroad.
I'm not surprised. It's definitely that witch Jane's stupid idea. She wants to get rid of me so she can manipulate Dad easier. I sneak out of the house. I need to find her and set things straight. But the person who shows up next leaves me in disbelief.
Mom, I'm out.
Skateboarding at night might just land you in trouble. I have to clamp my hand over my mouth to stop from screaming. Turns out all this time I've been pouring my heart out to the son of my enemy. Life sure has a twisted sense of humor.
Minnie? What are you doing here?
I'm startled as Jack spots me hiding behind a bush. Jane is also staring at me in surprise, but I'm at a loss for words now. In the days that follow, I'm too disheartened to even want to see Jack. Despite the struggle, I slowly start accepting that my dad has moved on. Until one day, I'm skateboarding alone down a narrow alley. What now? Two mean-looking men pick up Jack's skateboard and snap it in half.
Hey, are you stupid? You're supposed to slide on a skateboard, not break it. Typical naive kid. Where's your mom? She owes us big time. Who are you guys? What did my mom do to you? Ask less. Just know your mom isn't the good person you think.
I kick a can to distract them and bolt. Jack's not a bad guy, though. I tried to tell Mom, hoping she'd save Dad from that sneak Jane. But Mom thought I was just trying to sabotage Dad to bring my parents back together. Meanwhile, Dad ignored me when he found out I snuck out the night before. Ugh, so frustrating. But I wasn't about to let it go. That night, I waited for Jack to leave the house so I could sneak inside. I slipped into Jane's office like a ninja. Just as I opened the door, a loud alarm blared and red lights flashed around the room. Suddenly, a hand grabbed my collar, nearly scaring the life out of me.
Be quiet, or we're both screwed. I can't believe you'd take such a risk. If I hadn't come back, you'd be toast.
But your hair is tickling my nose! Jack turned around and our faces were inches apart. The awkwardness overpowered the fear. I was so embarrassed I practically jumped out of my skin. I knew you were bad. I glanced at Jack still neatly tucked in the closet, and he motioned for me to be quiet. After the wedding, your dad's company will be mine too. Your dad is as foolish as any other man. You came all this way finally knowing the truth, huh? But will your dad ever believe you now? What goes around comes around. I don't care when it comes from me, but you better behave and go study abroad. Your parents would be so disappointed to know you broke into my house to steal. Then she threw me out of the house. My plan to expose her failed, but what about Jack? Would he help me?
Do what she says.
The news of my sudden decision to study abroad shocked both my dad and Mom. That day, Jane also came with my dad. My mom was crying helplessly, watching my dad with utmost disdain. Meanwhile, I was still waiting for someone. Would he come for me? As the final boarding call sounded, I sadly kissed my mom goodbye and turned to leave.
Wait!
Jack, why are you here? Why are the police here? Because we're going to expose you.
Minnie gave me the courage to do this. Without her, I would have lived in guilt, covering up my mother's vile crimes. But how could this be? How did you kids find out?
I was blown away by Dad's sudden shift in attitude. Not just me, everyone there couldn't believe what was happening. Was this a Hollywood movie? Huh? Dad, you're helping the police investigate Jane? Was everything just an act? That wedding story?
Yes, exactly. I was ordered to keep it absolutely secret, even from you and your mom.
The last thing Dad expected was my overreaction.
But that actually helped. She completely let her guard down.
And that's why you deliberately strained our relationship.
Yes. I'm sorry, my love.
I was relieved that in the end, my parents weren't drifting apart. But right now, I needed to meet someone. He really needed someone to talk to.
George, please, come back soon, okay?
Absolutely, Adelaide. When I do, please wear this gorgeous dress for me, okay?
I haven't seen him since that day. Some say George lost his life on the battlefield. Others think he ran off to start a new life somewhere. Oh, that's so sad. Have you ever thought about looking for George again? Should we try? Maybe he's out there waiting for you.
Hey everyone, I'm Valerie Elmer from New York, and Adelaide here is a dear friend of mine. An inspiration for a story that's as romantic as it is wild. Subscribe to MDA and come back for the story. Mom always said I had an eye for fashion, even when I was just a toddler.
Oh, you don't like this one, huh? What about this one? Still not a fan, huh? Such a picky little lady. Will this one make the cut? That's my girl.
Adelaide has been a close neighbor and a skilled seamstress, living alone just a few steps from my house. She owns loads of stunning outfits from the past, each believed to hold its own story. My passion for fashion grew from there. Growing up, I dreamed of studying fashion design at NYU. I formed a group of vintage fashion enthusiasts, and thus, the project Old Fashioned, Old Story was born. So we're collecting outfits from the 70s and tying stories to them, right? Exactly. The final presentation will be like a fashion show meets a romantic musical. What do you guys think?
Sounds awesome!
I'm in.
See that cute guy? That's Bernie Miller, my crush, as you might have guessed. Bernie's sweet, but kinda clueless about the hints I drop. Like when I brought him soup when he was sick, or the chocolates and boba tea invite on Valentine's. Forget it. Back to the fashion project. It's time for Adelaide's vintage outfits to shine.
Oh yes, I'm a noble woman from Wales on Broadway to watch a play. VIP seats, anyone? Tonight, it's just me and these wild beats.
Finally, I found the dress I loved most. Admiring myself in the mirror, I spotted the embroidery on the collar. Yours, George. Adelaide has been single all these years. So, who's George? I begged her to tell me the story of the dress. Turns out it was a gift from her first love before he left for war.
A few days later, an accident happened. I was badly injured and lost part of my memory. All I have left is this dress and the letters George sent. It's been so long. I don't even know what's become of him.
George's letters always reminisced about their time together, the places they went, the things they did. He remembered everything. Each letter ended with, "I'll wait for you on the first day of May under the oak tree until time takes me away." Must be their anniversary. Super romantic, right? Luckily, the upcoming weekend is the first day of May, so I insisted on helping Adelaide find her first love. The next day on my way to school, I kept thinking about it and I didn't notice a car speeding towards me and a large puddle right next to me. Only when Bernie stepped in front of me. His warmth and those deep blue eyes nearly made me swoon.
Hey, are you okay?
I'm fine. Oh no, your shirt's all wet.
As long as you're okay.
Bernie sure knows how to make a girl's heart melt. On our way to school together, I told Bernie about Adelaide's unfinished love story and my plan. And surprisingly, he offered to help.
Huh, you'll need a great assistant, Valerie. I've got some relatives who lived through that era. They might have useful info.
Isn't this the perfect chance to get closer to Bernie? I can't wait to say yes. That weekend, we set out to track down Adelaide's mysterious first love. It almost felt like a romantic date or something. The clues in the letters led us to Radio City Music Hall, where George and Adelaide first watched a musical together, and then to Channel Gardens bursting with blooming flowers. It was so gorgeous. I'm lost for words. Come on, Valerie, don't forget our real mission here. Besides the letters, Adelaide also vaguely remembered details about George.
He had warm, deep brown hair and eyes as blue as the ocean.
We spotted a few older guys who kind of matched Adelaide's description, but no luck in finding the right one.
This is tougher than we thought, huh? No worries, just chill. We'll figure it out. See that big open space over there? Wanna go roller skating for a bit?
But I've never skated before.
Everyone starts somewhere. I'll teach you. No worries.
The roller skates made me a bit nervous, but Bernie quickly steadied me with his sturdy arm and slowly helped me glide. Just when I was hoping for something magical to happen...
Kiss, 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 kiss.
Just a little teasing and he's all embarrassed. Bernie, you lovable fool. After a fruitless search, we decided to wrap up at Rockefeller Center and moved on to the next spot, Coney Island. No way we could miss out on the Cyclone roller coaster. I was a bit nervous as the coaster climbed, but Bernie gently held my hand. Somehow I always felt safe when he's around. Everyone else seemed to disappear, leaving just him and me. And then I panicked when I realized I forgot to zip my bag! Adelaide's love letter started flying into the air. Oh no!
No, Valerie! It's dangerous!
All I could do was watch the letters until the ride stopped. This is a disaster. They must have flown all over the huge park. What will I tell Adelaide if I lost any of her letters? Bernie bought me a Nathan's hot dog and told me lots of funny stories as we strolled along the boardwalk to lift my spirits. That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah. Feeling better?
Yeah, thanks. It's just, the day's almost over. We've been to nearly all the places in the letters, but still no sign of George. When two people lose each other, it's so hard to get another chance. I feel so bad for Adelaide.
Valerie,
Look! I barely saw a paper buried under some sand. It was one of our letters. Can't believe it blew all the way out here. It talked about an old cafe under an ancient oak tree where George and Adelaide shared their first kiss and their last date before he went to war. The ancient oak tree. Could that be where George mentioned in his postscript? I think I know this cafe. It's really close to my house. With no time to lose, Bernie and I rushed to the cafe. When we arrived, I immediately noticed an elderly man reading under the tree. His name was George, and he had been a soldier in the 70s. Bingo! So, do you remember a woman named Adelaide?
Oh, Adelaide. Is she well? Of course I remember her.
We did it! Bernie and I quickly persuaded George to come with us to meet Adelaide. While Bernie was talking to George, I quickly helped Adelaide get ready. The moment the door opened and they saw each other, I was overwhelmed with joy. Now Adelaide wouldn't have to be alone anymore. Bernie and I decided to give them some space. Oh, Bernie, back at the beach, what were you going to say to me? The air suddenly filled with silence. I looked at Bernie for a long time, silently urging him, say it, just say it. But then...
I just wanted to thank you.
What?
Well, for a fun trip like this. Thanks a lot, Valerie.
I was quickly overtaken by disappointment. Was confessing really that hard? Just then, the door opened and Adelaide saw George off. What? Wrong person? But he said he knew your name.
Perhaps that was another acquaintance. Besides, the George you're looking for is George Miller, while he is George Hansen.
George Miller, huh?
Valerie, my dear, I know you wanted to help, but maybe we should accept and let go. All I need is to keep these beautiful memories.
I could see the disappointment welling up in her sad eyes. I felt so bad for Adelaide, but she was right. Perhaps in this life they had already missed each other. Feeling the worst, I decided to say bye to Bernie and take a walk alone. I headed back to the cafe just as it started to drizzle. Suddenly, something shiny tucked behind a pot on the table caught my eye. It was a ring? Inside, it was engraved with yours, Adelaide. I suddenly woke up as if electricity passed through my body.
Oh, the guy who was sitting here? He just left.
I immediately dashed around looking everywhere. I was so rushed I didn't notice I'd run right out to the curb. The sound of a motor roaring towards me and the glare of the headlights blinded me. But a hand grabbed me just in time and both of us tumbled onto the sidewalk.
Valerie, that was so dangerous! What are you doing?
Bernie, what are you doing here?
Oh, I was just taking my grandpa home. Gosh, you got scraped up. What's got you running like that?
You wouldn't believe what I found. Oh, where did it go? A man had picked up the ring.
At last, it returns to me.
Excuse me, are you George Miller?
Valerie, this is my Grandpa Bill. Grandpa, this is my classmate, Valerie.
Hello, Valerie. How do you know my real name?
Bernie then told me about his grandpa. He was a soldier, and after coming back from war, he followed his family's wishes, married Bernie's grandma, and changed his name to Bill Miller. The marriage wasn't happy, so they divorced when Bernie's mom was young. George lived alone ever since, and no one knows he has always held on to someone in his heart. Bernie and I planned the final showcase for the old-fashioned old story project. I would invite Adelaide, and Bernie would bring his grandpa to create a real reunion moment. According to the plan, I was supposed to wear the dress George had given Adelaide for their final scene. Instead, I handed it to its rightful owner. Waiting for Bernie's cue from below the stage. What are you planning, Valerie?
Don't worry, Adelaide. You look gorgeous. Shall we go out? The spotlight shone on Adelaide. At the same time, George in his old military uniform stepped onto the stage. The scene rewound to the 70s when nothing, not even war or the ravages of time, could separate their love.
Hello, Adelaide. You're as beautiful as ever.
Welcome back, George.
The loving look they shared made me truly say for the first time, love is beautiful. If only... It was a bit late, but luckily they didn't miss each other forever, huh?
Right. I've been thinking about that, and I don't want us to miss our chance, now or ever. I like you, Valerie. Will you be my girlfriend?
I was so embarrassed, but heck, I just kissed him. What was there to lose anyway?
Caitlin, target on the left.
Like it's a big deal. Hitting targets is my jam.
Caitlin, watch out!
Holy smokes, that was close. Sebastian timely shot down the arrow heading straight for me. That was a close shave.
Oops. My arrow seems to have a liking for you. Caitlin is going to be your future princess. Don't be rude. So what? Without her, I'll just marry someone else. I'm the future king. I might even need like 10 wives.
This jerk! I couldn't just stand there and listen to that sleazebag Jay go on any longer. So I pulled up my bow and shot an arrow straight at him. The arrow whizzed past Jay, leaving him frozen and speechless. Don't worry, I'll make sure I never have to marry someone like you. Hey there, my diary animated fans. I'm Caitlin, 17 years old. I come from a noble family, upper class all the way. Special thing is, ever since I was little, I was betrothed to Jay, a prince from a Nordic country. But seriously, my future husband is such a loser. I've always hated this setup because the guy I really like is Sebastian, Jay's twin brother. Sebastian and Jay are so alike, even our parents could mix them up. Sadly, Jay's personality doesn't even come close to 1% of Sebastian's. He's the most polite, decent guy I've ever met. Sebastian is better than Jay in every way, from archery to martial arts, and obviously brains too. Sadly, according to royal rules, the elder twin gets the throne, and also gets to be my lovely future husband. Because of that dumb wedding since I was little, I've been dragged here to learn all these boring, stodgy court rituals. Caitlin, what is Rule 13 in diplomatic etiquette? What? I can't even open my eyes properly yet. If you can't answer, you'll kneel in the Great Hall just like last time. Oh my gosh, you can't imagine how awful that punishment is.
That'll teach you to aim at a prince?
Just thinking about it is humiliating. While I'm panicking, not knowing what to say, suddenly Sebastian appears like a knight in shining armor.
Rule 13 in diplomatic etiquette is always to wait and invite your counterpart to start the meal first. Right, teacher?
Then he tells me the knight wants to see me urgently, grabs my hand and pulls me away. What's going on? The king called for me?
The king says you've learned enough. Time to go out and play.
This guy always knows how to surprise me and make me happy. He steals a set of clothes from a tall guard.
Come on, hurry up. Climb on my shoulders.
I quickly climb onto Sebastian's shoulders and we pretend to be one tall guard and successfully sneak out. He takes me to the amusement park. This lively place is a total contrast to the dreary, laughter-deprived royal court. Sebastian and I try out all the games. Who knows how much money he brought to spend on all these games?
So, feeling awake yet?
This
Look at you.
is just for you. Suddenly, from a distance, the noise of people gets louder approaching us. Aren't those the royal guards? We run fast, but luck isn't on our side. Both of us quickly get caught. We face punishment right after. Sebastian even got beaten pretty badly. The next day, I ran to find Sebastian, but accidentally bumped into Jay in the Great Hall. He's the same old jerk. His competitive nature hasn't changed a bit.
Looking for him? Don't you know there's a new rule against the princess having contact with the prince's brother?
You! What did you do?
Just snitched a little.
Right then, I get a message ordering me to move to a new place, but still under royal surveillance. Meanwhile, Sebastian will be sent somewhere else. Dang it! I'd rather marry someone like Sebastian than a person like you. Unfortunately, the king and several courtiers nearby heard everything. The king was furious. He ordered our punishment to be carried out immediately. I was transferred to the east side, and Sebastian, I have no idea where they'll send him. Life on the East Coast wasn't a walk in the park, and I hadn't heard a peep about Sebastian for years. I missed him like crazy. Everything just drifted by until one day. The royal buzzkill announced that I was to return to prep for my nightmare wedding to Jay. I'd mentally prepared for this day for forever. I was ready to wreck this marriage and teach Jay a lesson for how he treated my Sebastian. On the big day, I was dolled up to meet the public and the royal family. As usual, I sat at the banquet table waiting for my so-called fiancé to show up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Prince Jay Kowalski.
Wow, no way. He walked in looking surprisingly sharp. Never thought the jerk could look decent or composed. But a polished exterior can't fix a rotten personality. He was pulling chairs out for the ladies at the party. Guess his usual rudeness took some acting classes. Oh snap! Oh heavens, my apologies, Your Highness. Just as I'm freaking out, suddenly I'm being lifted up.
Excuse me, guests. Please continue with your meal. I need to handle this mishap with my future wife.
What the fudge is he doing? All eyes on us now. Is he trying to play the perfect hubby? Fine. I'll show him what it's like to marry a firecracker like me. Oh my, what a charming prince! Truly the people's future king. Yet he's still looking at me with that affectionate smile. Even plants a kiss on my cheek. Are you out of your mind?
Hush now, my love.
After 4 years, Jay's calmness is unnerving. He's nothing like before. He carries me straight to the bedroom. All gentle, then suddenly he whirls around 180 degrees.
Stop causing a scene! You're embarrassing me!
This guy is infuriating. But I won't back down. Not until I find out what happened to Sebastian. I still need to stall and wreck this marriage. The next day, while Jay is discussing some business deal with a leader from a Southeast Asian country, I show up with my trusty bow and arrow. Black Stallion, charge! My horse charges forward. I shoot arrows at images of that detestable man printed on paper. All the guests are shocked by my audacity to insult the prince. What's up, you want to call off the engagement now? Suddenly, Jay comes up from behind.
If you aimed a little better, you'd actually hit the mark.
Oh my god, what is this feeling? Don't tell me I've fallen for this madman. No, he must be acting. I can't soften up.
Watch out! Someone's trying to harm the prince! Protect the prince and the princess!
Jay just took an arrow for me? Right after Jay and I rush back to the royal palace to cool off. Why would anyone want to harm him? Why did Jay shield me? Does he actually like me? While I'm dazed with questions, suddenly I overhear palace servants whispering. Could it be someone seeking revenge for Lord Sebastian? Must be. I heard Lord Sebastian vanished in some accident. Something fishy there. The royal family stopped talking about him altogether. Sebastian vanished? No way! What did he do to deserve this? I'll find out the truth no matter what. I couldn't wait any longer. That night, I sneaked out to the prince's room. Due to the recent ambush, security was tighter than ever. I had to be super careful not to get caught. Where is it? What's this?
Your Majesty, we've caught the suspect.
A suspect? No, it's me.
Speak! Why are you here?
Of course I couldn't spill my real motives. And just then, I was being escorted away when suddenly, a figure in black swoops in, swiftly knocks down the guards, and pulls me away from the crowd. Who is this guy? Let me go! Who are you? As soon as he sets me down, I rip off the mask of my mysterious abductor. The kidnapper, it's none other than Jay? Jay, I don't get it.
I'll explain everything later. For now, let's get you out of here. Don't be scared.
No, I'm not going anywhere. What have you done with my Sebastian? How dare you guys mess with him? Just then, a scary-looking gang appears behind Jay, led by none other than Jay and Sebastian's uncle.
So, it was you? Yes, I've been watching you for a long time. Now both the prince and his tiny wife are in my hands. Be smart and tell the king to pass the crown to your brother. Then you're sorely mistaken. I'm not the prince. You just kidnapped his brother. I won't let you touch the royal family.
Turns out Sebastian has been impersonating Jay all along to uncover this coup. He was under royal orders and ready to die for Jay at any moment. There was no accident at all. My poor Sebastian. After many years, the person I've been dealing with these past days was actually the one I've always longed for. No wonder he was always so gentle with me, yet had to keep his distance sometimes to avoid suspicion.
You're just your brother's shadow. If you want me to spare her, lead me to the prince! Hurry up! Fine. Give her the car keys, and I'll take you to the prince.
He sneers and throws the car keys at me. Suddenly, I catch a signal from Sebastian.
Attack now, Caitlin!
Getting the hint, I quickly grab the keys and hurl them at the evil man. While his guards are off guard, Sebastian swiftly takes down the troops. Luckily, right after that, the royal forces find us. All the baddies have to pay for their actions. I immediately run over and hug Sebastian tightly. Then, he had to sit through an hour of me scolding him for lying to me. After this ordeal, the king sees Sebastian in a new light and gives him a chance to compete fairly with Jay. But he declines the opportunity, asking for just one thing.
I ask that you annul Caitlin's engagement to the prince. She deserves to choose her own happiness.
Luckily, the king agrees. Now I can enjoy the life of a 17-year-old teen fully and be with the one I love. All my focus was on this game. My hands gripped the controller tight, my fingers flying across the buttons with expert precision. Headshot! The last opponent was down! My chat box instantly flooded with compliments from viewers who were in awe of my killer skills.
Your reflexes are insane! So freaking good!
She won again!
Nobody can beat her. She's the best of the best.
I was grinning from ear to ear, basking in the glory when... You little rascal glued to your games and computer all day. Let me show you what's what. Hi, I'm Billy. A gamer, a tech whiz, a hacker, or whatever term you know from someone who's a tech genius. Online, I was all that. But in real life, I was just a shy girl, terrible at socializing with zero survival skills. The thing is, I used to have both my parents, and my dad was the one who sparked my love for technology. We could talk for hours about computers, how to build them, fix blue screen errors, break through firewalls, you name it. But then, one day, Dad said goodbye, told me he had to go work far away and gave me a watch as a keepsake. That was the last time I ever saw him. After that, it was just me and Mom, and every time I asked about Dad, she would avoid the topic. I started to close off and dreaded going to school because of the teasing about my incomplete family. So Mom decided to homeschool me. And from that moment, the computer became my best friend. The days passed by in peaceful monotony until one day, while I was buried in fixing a bug, I heard the news that my mom had been in a car accident and was in critical condition. I rushed straight to the hospital and was devastated to see my mom lying motionless. Worse, the doctor said that if she didn't have surgery soon, she wouldn't make it. But the surgery cost a fortune. Where was I going to get that kind of money? I wandered outside, walking along a bridge, feeling like the world was crumbling around me. Just when I was at my lowest point, my phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. Complete the task and the money will be yours. What the fudge? Probably just another heartless scam. But then another message came through. Scream out loud and $100 is yours. It seemed ridiculous, but I did it anyway. Anything to blow off some steam. Right after that, I heard a ting, and my account had been credited $100. I hadn't even recovered from the shock when more messages started coming in. Go to the convenience store and buy something, feed a stray cat, and other silly tasks. I did them all and the money kept rolling in. I was getting pumped about this easy money gig when a hidden mission popped up with a reward of $1 million? Just enough for Mom's surgery. I didn't think twice before hitting yes. A limousine showed up and took me to a secret location. A screen lit up with the mission, hack the computer of Westfield High School's principal within 2 weeks. Wait, wasn't this illegal? But it's $1 million. $1,000,000 freaking bucks! After agonizing over it for a while, I decided to go for it. Mom, please trust me. And that's how I ended up here, posing as a new student at Westfield High. How long had it been since I last attended school? I tried to put on my most determined face, but the truth was, my legs were shaking like jelly. Thankfully, I managed to pull myself together a bit when I met Principal Wilson. He seemed super kind and gave me a warm introduction to the school, but I was only focused on scoping out the room and, more importantly, the computer, my main target. Wait, there were 2 of them? Which one was I supposed to hack?
Any questions, young lady?
Yeah. Which of these computers has the password?
Excuse me?
Oh, I mean, I just wanted to say your computers are really nice. This wasn't going to be as easy as I thought, but whatever, I needed to get to class first. But disaster struck right away. I couldn't open my locker no matter how hard I tried, and I couldn't even find where to enter the code.
Need help with that?
With just a quick turn, they unlocked it easily. I thought it needed a password like a computer. It had been so long since I'd been around so many people. I kept my head down trying to avoid attention until... crispy crickets! I looked up and saw the most gorgeous guy ever. I mean, look at those thick eyebrows, high nose, and those eyes.
Move it. You're in the way.
He didn't even bother helping me. Looks like being handsome doesn't mean much if you've got a lousy attitude. Phew, finally out of those boring classes. It was time to eat. After getting my food, I spotted a table in the corner and headed straight for it when I tripped over a chair leg, sending my tray flying into the air, and the food rained down on a very stylish girl's head. I am so sorry, but what do I do now? Ew! I'm not sure if this is still edible. Are you dumb or something? No, but... Then she raised her hand and I braced myself for a slap. But just then, that annoying guy from earlier suddenly appeared. Look at that aura. Was he coming to save me?
No need to lay hands on someone this dumb. Just do this instead.
And then he took his own plate of spaghetti and dumped it right on my head while everyone around burst out laughing. Ooh, I like that new handsome guy. That jerk, Patrick. One day, I'll make sure he gets what's coming to him. It was only the first day and everything had already gone down the drain. My mission hadn't progressed at all because there were always students hanging around the principal's office. After that day, I decided to bring my own lunch to the storage room to find some peace and quiet. But suddenly, a cold voice echoed through the room.
Who's there? How dare you trespass in my territory?
Sorry, didn't see your name on the door. I'll just sit and eat for a bit and then I'll be out of your hair. He frowned at me before turning away and lying down to sleep. I just kept eating. Pizza, yum. By the way, why is pizza round but the box is square? Hey, aren't you eating lunch? I've got an extra slice of pizza, though I already took a bite. Hope you don't mind? You know, when I was little, I thought pizza was a birthday cake because it has layers and toppings, but when I cut it, no one sang happy birthday to me.
You talk too much. Can you just scram already?
This annoying guy. If I see him again, he's gonna regret it. The next day, I decided to sneak into Principal Wilson's office by climbing in through the back of the school. But guess who I ran into again? Patrick. That guy.
You again? You really seem to like following me. I'll give you 5 seconds to get out of here. 1, 2...
And I'll give you 5 seconds to eat this fist. But I was unlucky enough to trip on my own shoelace and fall right on top of him. And we kissed. Peach flavor. You just ate peaches, huh? No, I mean, sorry.
And I smell garlic. What did you...
Suddenly I panicked and looked down at my wrist. Where was my watch? Oh no, the watch my dad gave me! It's gone! It must have fallen off when, with you. You owe me! Find it for me!
What? You're the one who crashed into me. Jeez, stop overreacting. Just get your dad to buy you a new one.
My dad. He's not around anymore. And then memories of my dad flooded back and I couldn't hold back my tears as I sat down and cried. But to my surprise, Patrick suddenly sat down next to me and handed me a tissue.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Really. My dad's gone too, in an accident. Let me help you find your watch.
In that moment, Patrick seemed different. Not the jerk I thought he was, but someone really gentle. He combed through the bushes and eventually found the watch for me. We sat there talking until the hall monitor found us and we had to run away immediately. Since then, we exchanged phone numbers and texted each other every day. The more we talked, the more I realized there was something interesting about this guy. Although I still hadn't completely forgiven him for dumping noodles on my head under the excuse of fitting in with the others, hanging out with him kept the bullies away from me. That night, a message from the mysterious taskmaster popped up asking about my progress, but I didn't dare reply. There were only a few days left before the deadline and I hadn't accomplished anything yet. The next day, the school hosted a club fair and I knew this was my chance. While all the teachers and students were gathered outside, I sneaked into the principal's office. No one was there. One of the computers didn't have a password. Not the one. I quickly moved to the other one, but in my haste, I spilled coffee all over the keyboard, making it glitch out. Focus, Billy! Someone had put up some serious security, but nothing that could stop me. I quickly hacked into the computer and started sifting through the data folders, even though the keyboard kept going on and off. I messaged the taskmaster reporting that I had completed the mission and backed up the data onto a USB when I heard footsteps. I immediately hid in the filing cabinet and peeked through a gap. It was Patrick, and he was searching for something. Suddenly, a giant cockroach crawled up my leg and I couldn't hold back a scream. Patrick flung the cabinet doors open, shocked to see me. Just then, another set of footsteps approached. Patrick immediately grabbed me and we jumped out the window. But unlike in the movies, I wasn't graceful at all. I rolled around like a bowling ball as Patrick laughed obnoxiously. But hey, at least we got out of there. We ran out of the school and sat on a bench, both staring at each other, waiting for the other to explain why they were in that office. Okay, I'll go first. I'm a hacker and my mission was to hack Principal Wilson's computer.
A hacker? Have you been gaming so much that you're delusional?
How'd you know? I'm a gamer too, but what about you? What were you doing there? Spill it!
Fine, I'll trust you for now. But you should know what you're doing is illegal. Still, maybe you can help with my mission, so I'll let it slide. I'm an agent investigating a smuggling ring connected to someone at this school. I've searched everywhere, but found nothing, except for the principal's office.
An agent? So your codename must be Agent P, like Perry the Platypus. Perry!
Let's get serious. I've uncovered that the former principal, who's now deceased, was involved in the smuggling, and he used to work in that office. There must be something on that computer, which is why someone hired you to hack it.
I was still reeling from the shocking info dump when my account suddenly pinged with a $500,000 deposit along with a message, advance payment. I couldn't contain my mix of surprise and joy as I ran straight to the hospital and paid for my mom's surgery in advance. But the curiosity still gnawed at me. Who was behind this mysterious task? I went straight home and plugged in the USB from the principal's office and was stunned by what I saw. It was an old photo of 3 people. This looked like the former principal, that's Principal Wilson, and my dad? I kept digging and found records of their illegal smuggling operations. But the biggest shock was an article about my dad's arrest for smuggling, dated exactly 10 years ago today. So my dad... I was shaking, but I kept going and reached the final encrypted folder. It contained the password to the bank account holding the money from their last deal. 10 years in the statute of limitations, so that's why the mysterious figure wanted me to unlock this computer and get the money. Just then, smoke started filling the room and I couldn't breathe. My head was spinning, but I managed to see a figure through the smoke. I stumbled toward them and struggled, but they shoved me aside. They went straight for the computer, yanked out the USB, and bolted, but I grabbed something from them. In the aftermath, when the smoke cleared, I opened my hand and saw Principal Wilson's ring! I immediately called Patrick and told him what had just happened.
Just as I expected.
Patrick stopped me from confronting Wilson because we still didn't have solid evidence, so we planned to break into his house together and find clues. The next day, I stubbornly went to see Wilson, and sure enough, he wasn't wearing his ring. I pretended to ask some innocent questions, but he acted like nothing had happened. But while I was there, I casually hacked into a smartwatch. That night, we climbed the wall and easily bypassed Wilson's fingerprint lock because it was a basic model, and I had the info from his smartwatch. We ran down the hallway and found a hidden passage leading to a room. Too excited, I pushed the door open, but it swung back and smacked me right in the face. Billy, now is not the time to be clumsy! Then both Patrick and I stood there, mouths hanging open at the sight of the room stacked with cash. I was about to take out my phone to snap some evidence when I saw Patrick get knocked out, and a very familiar voice echoed through the room.
Ha ha ha. Well, aren't you too clever? But too bad this is just a trap. This money's all fake. Looks like you're just like your old man, only good for being our pawn.
I was furious and about to charge at him, but then he pulled out a laptop with a countdown timer on it.
Easy there, or you'll end up in pieces. I've rigged this whole building with explosives. Now just sit back and wait for the end.
The ticking bomb echoed through the small room. The screen was filled with complex codes, like a maze with no way out. I knew that even the smallest mistake could end everything in a fiery explosion. There it is! I found a vulnerability in the bomb's defense system, but to disarm it, I needed a decryption code. I quickly typed in a series of commands, but the security system detected my interference and started accelerating the countdown. 4 minutes, 3 minutes, access denied, access denied, access denied. My heart was pounding. 1 minute, 30 seconds, 10 seconds. I looked at Patrick, took a deep breath, and typed in one final command. Please work! Bomb deactivated. Yeah! My heart skipped a beat and I felt dizzy just as Patrick woke up, saw the screen, and, surprised, hugged me tight before sprinting out.
I'm not letting him get away!
I used what little strength I had left to crawl out of that horrifying house and collapsed on the doorstep. A while later, I heard police sirens, and from a distance, I saw Patrick pinning Wilson down. We handed over the USB containing all the evidence against him, and Wilson was definitely going to be eating prison food for a long time. Miraculously, after just one surgery, my mom's condition improved. Patrick even helped me with the rest of the money needed for her medical bills. I don't even know how I can repay him. And today, I finally gathered the courage to visit my dad, who I hadn't seen in 10 years. He was overwhelmed and couldn't hold back his tears. It was a bit awkward, but I felt an invisible bond between us. And I was so grateful that Patrick helped us find the evidence to reduce my dad's sentence. Time passed, and today was the day. I had been granted special entry into the FBI Cybersecurity Division, alongside my boyfriend. Oops, meant to keep that a secret, but it slipped out. Now I'm on the same level as you. Hello, colleague.
Dream on, kid. With how clumsy you are, you'll just be stuck behind a computer investigating, not running around like me. How's that same level, huh, Squared?
You... Without me, how could you guys have...
Shh. Okay. You're always the most important to me.
I swerved past a few cars on the highway, my foot slamming down on the gas pedal. The engine roared louder than the rain pounding outside. Beside me, Ethan was zooming on his motorcycle, his face all scrunched up like it was about to lose Riz. Why can't you just leave me the flip alone?
Little giggling gecko, I'm gonna tell Dad to take your car away.
Ugh, you embarrassed me in front of Jake. You know I've got a level 1000 aura for him. I was fuming, replaying what had just happened just a few minutes ago in my head. Ethan had launched the basketball right at me while I was at the top of the cheerleader pyramid. I fell down in the most cringe way possible.
I didn't do it on purpose, okay?
Shut your yapper.
Who do you think you are, talking to me like that? You're not even old enough to drive. Pull over right now.
Ethan kept yapping, trying to boss me around. But all I felt was 100% pure rage. The rain was coming down so hard it was like looking through a waterfall.
Sophia, watch out!
I jolted, yanking the wheel to the side just in time to avoid the car in front. But my car was headed straight for a tree by the roadside. What the waffles? Hey there, I'm Sophia. And before we dive into my totally dramatic story, don't forget to like and subscribe to MDA. My life was pretty much perfect. My family was rich and my parents loved me to bits. But there was always one thing holding me back. One person always there to remind me my life wasn't as perfect as it seemed. My twin brother, Ethan. Ethan and I had been at each other's throats ever since we were kids, and it never stopped as we grew up. It always ended in fights, sometimes with yelling and even tears. He was always trying to flex, seeing me as his annoying little sister. He loved to get under my skin. Like that one time, he barged into my room like a tornado without knocking, acting like it was his own space. What's your problem? Ethan yanked my phone charger out of the socket without asking, grabbed my brush, and started combing his hair, striking poses in front of the mirror, hyping himself up. Hello? He didn't even bother to answer, just strutted out, not forgetting to turn off the light and leave me fuming in the dark. And he left the door open. Are all brothers in the world this nuts or what?
Oh, by the way, you look like a hot mess today.
Get out! Our relationship at school was even worse. We had to act like the perfect sibling duo. I was the cheerleading captain, always having to keep up appearances, especially in front of Jake, my secret crush. Meanwhile, Ethan was the basketball team captain, also the captain of Jake's team, always surrounded by girls, especially the arrogant Madison. She's the daughter of the biggest shareholder in Dad's company. Seriously, Ethan knew how to pick his girlfriend. The biggest basketball game in the city was coming up at our school, and both Ethan and I were super busy prepping for it. I arrived early for a practice session and saw my brother also practicing on the court.
don't be jealous just because I'm the biggest star here.
Don't flatter yourself. You're not a star. You're just a cliche. Ethan stopped practicing and turned to look at me, annoyed.
And you're Miss Perfect, right? Always worried about what people think of you.
You wouldn't get it. I grabbed Ethan's neatly combed hair and gave it a yank. Meanwhile, he got me in a headlock. Before we could start wrestling on the court, the noise from the other students broke up the brawl.
Focus on your work, little sis.
Sure thing, big bro. But in the end, Ethan still managed to ruin my practice with the most humiliating fall ever. That annoying Ethan.
Sophia, watch out!
Barely escaping, I managed to steer the car to avoid the one in front, but my car slammed straight into a tree by the roadside. The impact wasn't too serious, but the front of my car started smoking. Oh my gosh, that's gonna kill me.
You're hopeless. Let me call a tow truck. Stay away from the tree. There's lightning.
In all the chaos, we didn't expect a lightning bolt to strike the huge old tree. My vision went white, and the world seemed to tilt. I woke up in bed. Holy moly, I was still alive after being struck by lightning. I dragged myself into the bathroom, my head too foggy to process anything. As I sat on the toilet, a strange feeling washed over me. Something wasn't right. I looked down and froze. Gulping, I pinched my cheek, trying to wake myself up from this messed up dream. I rushed to the mirror, and my heart dropped to the floor.
This can't be real. No.
I stumbled out, still in total shock. I tripped over a basketball on the floor and only now noticed that this wasn't my room. Not a second later, the door burst open and I was flying in, meaning my body was flying in. Sophia? What the waffles is going on?
I am you?
And you're me?
It was the lightning, right? We need another big storm.
We both got down on our knees, facing the wide window, and begged for a storm to come. But the rain had stopped, and the bright sunshine beamed down, waking us up to the harsh truth. It was over! We just stood there, staring at each other in stunned silence. The reality of what was happening hit me like a ton of bricks. This wasn't just some weird dream. We had switched bodies.
We have to find a way to fix this. There has to be a way to get back into our own bodies.
We tried everything we could think of. We crashed into each other, wrestled, hoping somehow it would snap us back to normal. Nothing worked. Our parents ignored the usual fighting between the two of us, but they had no idea we were living a nightmare. Before figuring anything out, we had to calm down and accept our current situation. While rummaging through Ethan's bathroom for a razor, I heard a voice behind me. Don't even think about it.
How could I not? I can't live with these hairy legs that look like a cornfield.
That's my pride, you know? If you touch them, say goodbye to your hair.
No, please don't! Don't touch it!
We bickered back and forth for a while, eventually shaking hands. Truce, okay? Like we had any other choice. We still had to go to school that day. I felt so weird walking into the locker room, surrounded by tall guys slapping me on the back and greeting their captain. I tried to act like I was fine, but my soul was squirming inside Ethan's body. My brain nearly exploded when Jake walked in. My heart sank as he took off his shirt, revealing a perfectly toned body. My face was heating up fast, and I couldn't hide the fact that I was staring at him. Jake noticed and looked at me with disgust.
Dude, what's your problem? Nothing, man. Just lost in thought, I guess.
Jake frowned and brushed past me. My behavior had obviously caught everyone's attention. Practice was even worse. Ethan was supposed to be a star player, but in his body I was clumsy and awkward, missing shots left and right. The basketball felt foreign in my hands, and every move I made was wrong. Even the coach looked confused and concerned.
What's wrong with you today?
Just a bit in my head, but I'll be fine.
If you don't pull it together, I'm putting you on the bench for the main game.
I forced a smile. If Ethan found out about this, he would definitely kill me. It was then I remembered my brother. The cheer team was here, but I couldn't see me, or rather, Ethan anywhere. I found Ethan sitting alone, looking gloomy on the school grounds. Totally unlike the confident me everyone usually saw.
Hey, I got to be so close to Jake today, although he seemed a bit weirded out.
Ethan looked up, and if looks could kill, I'd be 6 feet under. Are you serious right now? Jeez Louise. Jake probably thinks I'm some kind of creep now. You and him hate each other. I finally understood why everyone was looking at me so strangely. A friendly conversation between Ethan and Jake was a total no-go. They were like Mentos and Cola. I'm sorry. I have no clue how to train with the cheer team. I even had to cover my eyes while changing in the locker room. I couldn't be mad at Ethan because I wasn't doing any better in his role either.
The coach almost benched you today because I was so bad. I'm sorry too. I nearly ruined the reputation you've built up.
Benched? This is a disaster! The big game was only a week away. Ethan was actually supposed to play basketball and I had to lead the cheer team. But with things like this, what were we supposed to do? Suddenly, someone wrapped their arms around my neck and hugged me tight. Oh, my love! It was Madison. I looked at Ethan for help, but he looked more miserable than I felt. I had to improvise.
Hey there, sweetie.
Madison looked a little surprised at first, then squeezed me even tighter. Finally, you're showing me some love, huh? Her words caught me off guard. Wasn't Madison and my brother always glued to each other? That night, I had a serious talk with my brother for the first time in my life.
What's the deal with you and Madison? Why are you with her?
It's Dad. He wants me to. Her dad is a big investor in the company, and Dad wants me to keep up this relationship for his business. For a moment, I didn't know what to say. All this time, I thought Ethan was just living it up, enjoying the perks of being the golden boy. But now I realized he was stuck in a life that wasn't even his.
I had no idea you had to go through all this crap.
After that short conversation, something changed between us. Every night after school, Ethan started teaching me how to play basketball, showing me how to dribble and shoot from the very basics. In return, I taught Ethan some cheerleading moves. Although it was tough, we got better each day. Our parents noticed the change and were surprised at how well we were getting along. It's so much easier to understand each other when you literally walk in their shoes. The night before the big game, Ethan and I were invited to a party. All the popular kids from school were going to be there, including Jake and Madison. We stood in front of the mirror staring at our reflections. Even though it had been nearly a week, I still wasn't used to being in Ethan's over 6 feet bulky body. I was struggling to tie a tie without strangling myself when my brother walked over, still fumbling with the gorgeous slit dress I had just helped him put on. You look fantastic.
You look stunning too. The most beautiful girl in the world.
My parents walked in, smiling with satisfaction. They must have thought we were finally getting along. But in reality, we were just admiring our own appearances. As soon as we stepped through the gate, Madison threw her arms around my neck and started kissing me. I knew I needed to do something to free my brother from this, even if it might break her heart.
Madison, I think we need to talk.
What's wrong, my love? She sensed the seriousness in my voice and quietly followed me to a secluded corner of the party.
I know this is hard to say.
Don't tell me you're gay! I heard from the basketball team that you were staring at Jake while he was changing.
No! Oh my gosh! That was just a misunderstanding!
So, there's nothing serious then, right, honey?
Madison, please. I can't be with you anymore. I'm sorry. I don't want you to be stuck with my coldness either. I took a slap so hard it made my vision blur. Madison ran off, probably crying. But I had no other choice. This was freedom for both of us. Ethan saw what happened and tried to run after her to comfort her, not knowing what I had just done. But unfortunately, Madison ran fast and bumped into him, sending my brother splashing into the pool. Oh, snap! Sophia!
Before I could react, Jake dove into the pool, grabbing or rather Ethan's body and pulling it to the shore. Jake leaned down, his lips close to mine, trying to push the water out of my lungs. Jake and I technically were kissing, but the feelings I had were so mixed, awkward, embarrassed, and weird. Ethan's eyes were wide open. I bet he was in shock, having his enemy kiss him. Without saying a word, he shoved Jake aside, sat up, and started vomiting. Oh, holy moly! I had to run over immediately. I couldn't let Jake misunderstand.
She's just a little scared. I'll take her home. Thanks.
Even in the car, my brother was still covering his mouth. Maybe the psychological blow was too much for him. But I still had to tell him about Madison. Ethan was surprised, but he looked relieved. Thank you. You did what I didn't have the courage to do. The day of the game finally arrived, and Ethan and I fist bumped before going our separate ways. My heart pounded in my chest as I watched Ethan get ready with the cheer team while Jake approached me.
Captain, good luck.
The game began and the tension was palpable. I could see Ethan in my body, standing tall on top of the cheerleading pyramid, smiling with confidence. He nailed it. I was going to give it my all too. In the final moments of the game, the score was tied. Jake passed the ball to me and I caught it. One last play, one last chance. I dribbled down the court, eyes on the basket. The opposing defense closed in on me, but I knew what I had to do. I faked a pass to the side, then drove forward, leaping into the air and slamming the ball into the net with all my strength. The crowd erupted in cheers. We did it! I did it! As the final whistle blew, my teammates surrounded me. Jake was there too, hugging me and celebrating our victory. Holding the trophy in my hand, I saw Ethan from the cheer team, looking at me with pride.
Sophia, over here! My beautiful sister!
He looked surprised for a moment, then quickly pushed through the crowd, running up to the stage where I was standing with a trophy. As we raised the trophy high, the sky suddenly darkened, and a storm rolled in. I felt a sense of deja vu wash over me. A bright flash of lightning cut across the sky, causing everyone to shut their eyes tight. I blinked, feeling a strange tingling sensation through my body. I looked up and saw Ethan in his own body, staring back at me with wide eyes. It happened again. We were back. We hugged each other tightly, laughing and crying at the same time, celebrating even more than when we won the championship. The crowd stared at us in confusion, but I didn't care. I was Sophia again, and Ethan was Ethan. Before I could say anything, Ethan, grinning like he had just won the lottery, turned to Jake and shouted,
Hey Jake, my beautiful sister has something to tell you.
"Holy guacamole!" He was totally disregarding my dignity. As my crush approached, Ethan shoved me straight into Jake's chest.
Time to call me Big Brother, huh?
Cradled in Jake's arms, I felt happier than ever. Above all, I felt a true connection with my twin brother Ethan. We had fought so hard for this moment, and now we were enjoying it together.
You want to marry her and you haven't even spoken to her? Oh my gosh, I see a whole wedding going on in your head.
How did you know that? Don't say her name, okay? Jade, what about me?
I don't want to make you blush, but you're thinking about that time you wet your pants in 9th grade.
Jade, you're impossible!
He turned bright red as everyone cracked up. That kind of chaotic scene was pretty normal during break time, with the boys always daring me to join their silly games. And you're thinking about ditching class to play soccer, aren't you?
Can you keep it down? Don't let the teacher know!
Honestly, their childish thoughts were all floating around me like speech bubbles in the air. Boys are such dummies, I thought to myself. Hey there, I'm Jade. Growing up with 3 older brothers and hearing 1,001 stories every day, I was pretty confident I could read every guy's mind and understand all their actions. That helped me kick the jerks out of my life real fast. But it also got me the reputation of being a weirdo that no guy dared to get close to. Bummer. I wanted a boyfriend too, you know. Why is every couple hanging out in the hallway today? I just walked alone carrying my books. Whether I liked it or not, I could see words forming sentences above the heads of these clueless boys floating in midair.
I like Mia's hair.
Yeah, tell her that. She'd be thrilled.
This conversation is so lame. Not as fun as the girl I met last night.
Another 2-timing jerk.
Should I kiss Linda or not?
Whoa, slow down, bruh. The boys' thoughts at school were pretty basic like that. Their actions were even easier to guess because most of them just wanted to show off to the girls. I knew it all too well. Finally, I made it to the canteen. After getting my food, I went to my usual spot and quickly ate.
Mind if I sit here?
A cute guy with curly hair asked me. Go sit somewhere else. I had no interest in getting to know any boys at this school.
Everyone's sitting with friends, and I saw you sitting alone, so...
Just then, a group of girls walked by and knocked a tray of food all over me. Oops, sorry, Miss Standoffish. I didn't mean to. That was Lucy, the school's hot girl. She bent down to wipe my shirt but tilted the tray more, making even more food spill on me. Then she flipped the whole tray in my face, leaving me stunned. Enough, stop wiping. I'm sorry, you're all dirty now. I have to clean it up.
Thanks, but I don't think she needs that.
Nick moved closer and started wiping the ketchup and warm curry soup off my face with napkins. Lucy shot me a dirty look before turning away. In that moment, I felt really touched. I was so used to doing everything alone, getting teased or bullied sometimes. I told myself just to focus on my studies and ignore those people. But this was the first time someone stood up for me. I peeked into Curly Hair's thoughts. The words floating there were,
I'll wipe the ketchup so it looks like a mustache. Man, this curry smells strong. Let me leave some rice grains here.
This guy was asking for it. I was about to slap him when he handed me a mirror.
Here, all clean now.
My face was finally free of food. I thought you were planning to leave a ketchup mustache and rice on my face.
Why would I do that? I just transferred to the advanced math class. I'm about to go get my uniform. You can wear my shirt for now.
So you're in my class, huh? Actually, I have a clean shirt in my locker, so it's fine. We talked for a bit more and agreed to meet up in class. His name was Nick. For a moment, I couldn't help but smile. It was the first time I'd guessed a boy's thoughts wrong, but this mistake made me so happy. He was such a good guy. I think I found my exception. The next day, I started bothering Nick more. He was always cheerful about my requests. He was super helpful and we talked a lot. But things didn't stay smooth. One Monday morning when I got back to class, Lucy, the school's hot girl, walked up to me. "Hello, freaky Jade." Lucy glared at me. Just from her greeting, I could tell she wanted to crush me. "Let me be straight with you. Stay away from Nick. Look at yourself and see where your looks stand. Whenever you two are together, you look like a duck." Well, I know Nick wouldn't like a girl who bullies others. Lucy was furious, took a deep breath, and hissed through gritted teeth. "Stay away from Nick or you'll regret it." Lucy was so used to her title as the school's hot girl that she always looked down on everyone. Honestly, I didn't care about such threats. That afternoon, Nick and I still walked home together. In the sunset, his smile looked so nice. The next day, I started noticing signs that Lucy had made her move. The first thing I saw when I got to class was my desk covered in scribbles and insults. My desk was stuffed with trash, reeking so bad that everyone pinched their noses and grimaced at me. So this is what bullying feels like. After I finished cleaning up the mess, Nick came over.
Jade, I can't believe you'd graffiti your desk. Such beautiful words.
Instead of joking, can you help me clean it up?
Ooh, this ink is tough to clean. I'll grab some alcohol from the chemistry lab to make it easier. Who did this anyway?
I was afraid of revealing that I liked Nick, so I didn't want to answer. After class, Nick spent an hour helping me scrub the desk and chairs clean. For the entire week after that, I went through every dirty trick Lucy had prepared. What the waffles is this? I couldn't forget the horrifying feeling when I opened my locker to find it crawling with roaches. Everyone screamed while I wanted to faint. Then rumors started that I was some kind of slob. Another time, I almost ended up on the field with a ripped gym uniform, and my sneakers were nowhere to be found. I had to pretend to be sick and hide in the nurse's office to avoid getting in trouble. I also almost got soaked when a bucket of water fell on my head as I opened the bathroom door. After every incident, I wondered if Nick was really worth all this trouble, and he answered that question for me. Nick was always there to help. He was the one who bought insect spray to help me clean up the gross roaches, found my gym shoes hanging from the basketball hoop, played along with my fake sick act to skip class, and lent me his uniform when mine was drenched. So I guess Lucy's pranks totally backfired.
Be honest, you know who's behind all this, right? I mean, how could you get pranked like this over and over again? Actually, it's not even pranking. This is straight up bullying.
Well, someone really likes you and is super jealous, so they're trying to scare me off.
Looks like you failed. You don't seem scared at all.
That's because I've got you helping me. I gave him a green light, but it seemed like Nick didn't quite catch on. He might be a genius with academics, but he was totally clueless about this stuff. And that made me like him even more. He was just so genuine. But there were times when I saw Nick being all friendly with other girls. Like he'd offer to clean up for Lena so she could leave early for something. Then he'd help some girl catch a ball on the basketball court, making everyone cheer. I even overheard the girls talking about Nick, praising him for lending them his handkerchief, or giving up a seat for them on the bus, or always carrying Band-Aids. They were making a big deal out of normal stuff. It was just reflexes and being polite, that's all. Still, it made me think. I couldn't figure out what Nick was thinking. Why was he so nice to everyone? Did he not realize he was making every girl fall for him? Didn't he know he should dial it back a bit? But then again, who was I to get mad? The more I thought about it, the more frustrated I got, to the point where I didn't even want to talk to Nick anymore.
We haven't talked much lately. There's a fun fair at the park this weekend. Want to go with me?
I guess that depends on how good your intentions are.
Okay, fine. I won't compete with you in math class anymore, and I'll even carry your backpack.
That's so lame. Okay, fine. Lucky for you, I'm free this weekend.
Awesome. I'll bring my cat, Casty, too. She'll love it.
He smiled again. This guy sure knew how to work his charm. No wonder every girl was crazy about him, and I kept getting death stares just for hanging out with him. I couldn't decide what to wear for our date. Nick once mentioned he liked girls in pink, but I preferred white. I spent an hour just deciding on an outfit. This time, Nick actually begged me to go. That was a huge step forward. I was grinning like an idiot all day. I couldn't believe a grumpy old maid like me, who was always so uptight and never smiled at the boys, was now blushing like this. Love was scary, but it was also exciting.
You look different today.
Well, I don't just wear uniforms and gym clothes. Seeing him get all awkward, I quickly changed the subject to make things more natural. Cassie's so adorable. You take such good care of her.
Looks like she's warming up to you pretty quickly.
The park was busier than usual because of the fair. Nick and I walked around laughing and having a good time. He even took pictures of me.
Are you hungry? I'll go grab some burgers and juice.
Okay, I'll keep an eye on Katsie for you. After Nick left, I opened the bag to let Katsie out for a bit. I carefully put the leash on her and held the other end tightly. Suddenly, I got a call from May, a friend from the research club. While I was caught up on the phone, I suddenly heard Nick's voice.
Jade, where's Casti?
Sorry, May. I'll call you back later. Casti was just here. I let her out for a walk and I was holding the leash, but...
Stay calm. Let's find her together.
I was scared and worried. Even though she had a name tag on, I was terrified something might happen to her. And I was right. We searched around the fair area but didn't find her until we saw a crowd gathering outside. I ran over to check and sure enough, it was Casti. She was crying out in pain. Nick quickly picked her up and rushed her to the vet. I'd never felt such a heavy feeling before. Nick didn't say a word to me and all I could think about was the guilt weighing me down. We could only watch as the vet checked on Casti, waiting anxiously. I'm so sorry. It's my fault that Casti... If only I had tied her up or turned off my phone or...
Apologizing won't change anything. Let's just hope Casti's okay.
Well, I knew it. Nick was mad at me. The vet said Casti had a broken tooth, but luckily it wasn't too serious and didn't affect her jawbone. She'd need to be careful with her eating to avoid further injury. I felt awful. Nick, I'm really sorry.
Let's go. I'll take you home.
That night, I couldn't focus on my presentation for the club. All I could think about was Nick and Casti until I finally drifted off to sleep. The next day, Nick didn't say a word to me. I had no idea what to do to make him stop being mad. I bought him some food and left it in his desk. By the afternoon, the same package was back in my desk with a note, "Eat before the club meeting." And just like that, we entered the Cold War phase. If only I could read Nick's mind, everything would be so much easier. What on earth was he thinking? As I was lost in a maze of messy thoughts, I spotted Nick and Lucy chatting together. Lucy saw me. She leaned in and whispered something to Nick, then linked her arm with his. I quickly turned away and hurried down the hall, my head down. The thoughts of the boys around me floated in the air, clear as day, like they had their minds written on their faces. I could still read everyone's thoughts, so why not Nick's? What was going on between him and Lucy? Was Nick thinking about me at all? What should I do now? This feeling was so annoying, I thought to myself. A few days later, as I was lying on my bed, lost in thought, I suddenly got a call from Nick.
Jade, can you come over?
Where? What's up with your voice?
Casti got poisoned, and I'm taking her to the emergency vet.
What? Oh my gosh, I'll be right there! Hang on! I dashed out of the house and headed straight for the vet we'd gone to before. Under the cold white lights of the vet's office, Nick sat hunched over, his hands clenched on his knees. Nick, what happened? He explained that Lucy had come over today because she heard about Casti's injury. She brought a bunch of chocolate. Even though Nick had warned her that cats can't eat chocolate, when he turned around, he saw Casti had already eaten more than half a bar. A few hours later, Casti started showing strange symptoms, so Nick rushed her to the vet. He shared with me that Casti was a cat his sister left behind when she and their mom moved abroad. His parents were divorced and his dad was rarely home, so Casti meant a lot to him. I gently placed a hand on his shoulder to comfort him. Suddenly, Lucy rushed in all flustered. Nick, are you okay? Cut the act. Isn't it thanks to you that Casti's in this mess? Jade, I don't know why you're here, but don't blame others for your own issues.
Lucy, enough. Be quiet.
I was fed up with Lucy's fake act, so I excused myself to the restroom. But guess what? Lucy followed me right after. I turned on the voice recorder on my phone and faced Lucy. Why'd you give Casti chocolate? Nick warned you, didn't he? I'm not stupid, Jade. I quickly grabbed my phone, wrapped it in a towel to dry it, and kept pressing the buttons to reboot it. Meanwhile, Lucy began whining about how much effort she had put into setting up those pranks to bully me at school, only to see them backfire. She then bragged about her plan to go after Casti. It turned out the accident in the park was her doing as well. I was shocked at what Lucy confessed. How could she do that to an innocent cat? She walked out with a confident stride, not realizing that my phone was waterproof. I was just pretending to catch her off guard. Everything she said was recorded. As I stepped out, the vet was delivering the news.
Casti needs careful care and close monitoring for several days. The unhealed tooth will make recovery longer. However, Casti's out of danger now, so don't worry. I've prescribed some medication along with a diet plan. Just follow these instructions.
Thank you, doctor.
Let me hold Casti. Stop the act, Lucy. Nick, you need to hear this. I played the recording from the restroom for all three of us to hear. I purposely hit that greedy cat while I was eating. If Nick hadn't stopped me, the whole bar of chocolate would have been gone. Nick's face grew more and more serious. He snapped.
I can't believe you, Lucy. I never want to see your face again.
Wait, Lucy was speechless with nothing left to say in her defense. On the way home, I asked Nick about his relationship with Lucy.
I knew Lucy wanted to get closer to me, but I wasn't comfortable with it. I was just being polite. I guess I was too polite, but I'll change that. For you, so you don't misunderstand me.
I completely lost my confidence when I couldn't read your thoughts. I blushed when Nick took my hand.
Maybe it's because I like you, Jade. Love is always a mystery, but as long as it's genuine, it's enough.
And just like that, I got my answer. No matter how uncertain I'd felt before, now I felt at ease. Love really is the most unpredictable thing in the world.
Facing the alien chemical equation on the board, I was sweating profusely when suddenly Alice, the smartest nerd in the class, threw a piece of paper at me. "Copy it, Queenie." Thinking that she was helping me, I gleefully wrote down her answer, but strangely, the whole class burst into laughter. Alice sneered at me. "Dumbass." "Be quiet, class." "Queenie, F-, go back to your seat." When I was passing Alice, I angrily grunted, "You're ugly inside out." She immediately tripped me and made me fall face first. Due to that, we got into a fight right in the classroom. Hi, I'm Queenie, 16 years old. I'm a famous girl with over 600,000 Instagram followers. Most of the boys in my school were obsessed with me. My family was also one of the wealthiest in Orlando. You could say that I had it all, but there was only one thing that I lacked of: Brian. Because of my poor academic skills, my dad threatened that if I didn't improve, he would send me to my grandma's stables in the suburbs of Texas, where the Wi-Fi was weak and I would have to clean up horse poop all the time. Ew, I would never let that happen. I quickly started focusing on my weakest subject, chemistry. I spent a lot of money to hire Fariel, the smartest guy in the chemistry club, to tutor me at my house. But even if Fariel offered to teach me for free with my 2-digit IQ score, it would still be impossible. Stop, I can't take it anymore. Come on, Queenie, tough it out. Why do I have to study so many things? I'm not going to compete in the Olympics like you. Suddenly, Fariel exclaimed he had thought of a way that would help me pass. Every student whose names were on the chemistry Olympiad list would be exempted from the school's chemistry class, which meant one thing. You must join our club. What? The nerdy club was led by Alice. No way! So you choose to clean the stables, right? Ugh, I really needed to pass chemistry, and I also hated cleaning the stables. So the next day, I determinedly walked into his club room. My presence shocked every member, especially Alice. I came here to apply for the club. She burst out laughing immediately and threw me a pen. Take this. For what? To draw more wrinkles on your brain. Even though I was pissed off, to raise my chance of getting in the club, I boldly told her that the other members would definitely welcome me even if she wouldn't. She snickered and confidently let them vote. Little did she know, 80% of the club members were male and 2/3 of them followed me on Instagram. So, am I eligible to join the club now? I walked past Alice, nudged her shoulder, and stuck out my tongue teasingly. However, Caitlin, the captain of the cheerleading club, suddenly appeared at the door. With Queenie, this club is going down. Her words made my relationship with Alice even more strained. I became a thorn in her eyes, and she always looked for a reason to kick me out of the club. Once, I was assigned to bring my teacher the white rats from the school's lab. When I entered the lab and picked up the box, suddenly the lid of the box came loose. The rats quickly ran out and bumped into the chemical bottles, causing them to shatter all over the ground. Caught ya. Unexpectedly, Alice was filming the whole thing. Be ready to say bye-bye to my club. It must have been her trap. I quickly got into a fight with her when suddenly Caitlin appeared with Mrs. Claire, the school superintendent. You see, Alice and Queenie have ruined this lab. Miss Claire furiously decided to punish us by suspending all the activities of the chemistry club and made us stay behind to clean up the lab. With that, she left. Alice shouted at Caitlin, "It was you who showed me how to kick Queenie out of the club. Why did you turn your back on me?" All I wanted is that club room of yours. Now that you guys are suspended, move out soon, Kay. The cheer team has been wanting a space for entertainment. She slammed the door and laughed provocatively. What a witch! When we were cleaning the lab, Alice just sat in a corner and cried loudly. Honestly, she deserved it. I was the innocent one here. Why did they drag me into this mess? Hey, get up and start cleaning. If I can't participate in the Olympics, I'll lose my scholarship. No. I just remembered that if I couldn't join her club, I would have to study like a normie. Then if I failed my chemistry class one more time, I would have to clean the stables. Damn it. It's not over. We'll take the club back. Really? How? It was easy. We had to make the school realize that the cheerleaders were the real troublemakers here. To do that, we gotta be a team and stop standing in each other's way, got it? Deal. Our opportunity soon came when the cheer team held a performance at the school Christmas festival. That day, many of the school's important partners arrived. Caitlin took the stage and began dancing while our club gathered backstage and was ready to take our revenge. I took out a remote control and clicked the button. Suddenly, from Caitlin's pocket, a faced mouse jumped out. The cheerleaders and she all ran away screaming in panic. Caitlin was so scared that she kicked the mouse at the principal's guest, causing him to faint. The festival was chaotic and the principal was beyond furious. Stop this madness. All the cheer team go back inside. We were giggling as Caitlin ran inside and shouted, "You will pay for this!" After the cheerleaders were punished and got their entertainment room confiscated, that room was rightfully returned to us. Our club chemistry was also officially restored, and we were eligible to participate in the Olympics again. The members studied day and night for that competition, and of course, a hopeless idiot like me could only cheer for them. When the Olympics finally arrived, everyone was present, but no one could find Alice anywhere. We tried calling her, to no avail. Suddenly, Caitlin appeared. Give it up, losers. Turns out that evil witch and her minions had blocked Alice's way and locked her inside a toilet. Now you don't have a captain to participate anymore. I'll be the captain. Haha, an idiot like you wants to be the captain of the Olympic team? Don't make me laugh. Without letting her finish her sentence, Fariel pushed her aside and boldly walked with me and the team on stage. We must win this, and no one shall stand in our way. My teammates did an excellent job on their parts, and all the teams were at a tie. The captain's part would be the deciding one. Since I was replacing Alice, I was forced to compete in her place. On the table, they put a lot of test tubes containing gases and announced the question. Within 3 seconds, find the tube that contains the chemical gas that will explode when it comes in contact with oxygen. Everyone held their breath waiting for my answer. Thank God I suddenly remembered that damn equation that gave me a F-. I quickly grabbed the tube containing hydrogen and pressed the timer a few seconds ahead of my opponent. Immediately, the referee announced that our team had won. We all cheered in union. Ariel and I hugged each other in bliss, then he suddenly kissed my cheek. Although late, Alice still arrived to see the final result. I ran to her and gave the trophy to Alice because we were such a great team.
When I was trying to climb over the fence of my house, the bodyguards were catching up to me.
Miss Pringle, stop! Your parents forbid you to leave the house.
Tell them I'll only come back when they change their mind. While I was rushing, my pants accidentally got caught in the fence and it tore a huge hole on my butt. Damn it! Embarrassed, I covered my torn pants while running away. Hi, I'm Nora, a famous 18-year-old pop star from Canada. The reason I ran away from home was because of a conflict with my parents. Over the years, they made me work to the bone without a day off. I had frustratedly begged them to cancel all my work plans for Christmas that year, but no, they flatly denied it and even forced me to perform a live show on Christmas Eve. And the worst part was that I would have to do a duet with Jack, my ex-boyfriend who had an affair with my own dancer. Ugh, I couldn't even denounce him because it would affect both of our reputations. After the successful escape attempt from home, I planned to fly to the Maldives and spend the holidays there. But first, I needed to recharge some energy, so I stopped by a McDonald's. While I was trying to stuff my face, some fans recognized me. They rushed over and repeatedly took my pictures.
Oh my god, is it Nora? Ah!
Wait, don't! Their screams caught everyone's attention. What a nightmare! If my pictures were uploaded to the media, my parents would know where I was and drag me home. I quickly grabbed a nearby paper bag and put it on my head and ran out of there. However, my fans were determined to chase after me. When I ran through a street corner, I saw an empty car and without thinking, I hid in there. I intended to wait until the crowd had disappeared to come out, but then the car suddenly started up. When I raised my head in panic, in front of me was a monstrous figure with pointed ears and a large hat.
What? What are you?
The driver got startled and shouted even louder than me. He panicked and crashed into a nearby lamppost. When we got out of the car, I realized he was just wearing a Christmas elf costume.
Look what you've done!
I'm so sorry. I'll pay for your car repair. But when I reached for my backpack, I suddenly realized I had forgotten it at McDonald's. My plane tickets, money, and papers were all in there. Even more unfortunate, when we went back to McDonald's, the bag was gone. The angry elf was about to call the police, but I quickly stopped him. In that urgent situation, an idea crossed my mind. I told him my story and begged him to let me crash at his place for a handsome amount of money. Please, you can't just leave a lady on the street this late. I knew it was crazy and dangerous, but I had no other choice. I would never return home in such a pathetic state. After begging him for a while, he sighed and finally nodded in agreement. On the way back home, he introduced himself as Finn and he was currently living with a 16-year-old sister. Their family was quite poor, which was why Finn still worked part-time during the holidays. He was a staff at an amusement park and it was traditional for them to wear Christmas elf outfits during the season. Not long after that, we arrived. Just like he said, his place was a run-down place. It wasn't even as big as my bedroom. Welcoming us was Anna, Finn's sister. She immediately recognized me and screamed excitedly that I was her idol. Thanks to her, I felt much more comfortable. However, that night I didn't have much of a good sleep because I had to struggle with the sheet on the rollaway bed. When I tucked the sheet at one end, the other end immediately slipped. And when I was finally able to spread out the entire sheet, the bed suddenly folded and I was trapped inside. Holy cow, no one told me it would be that hard. When the next morning came, I was awoken abruptly by the shrill clock alarm. I dazedly opened the bathroom's door, but to my surprise, Finn was showering.
Oh Jesus, what are you doing?
Why didn't you lock the door? My cheeks flushed brightly when my eyes were blessed with his abs. I quickly apologized and closed the door, but the knob suddenly fell off. Seeing that, Anna laughed hysterically and explained that the bathroom door was broken, but they hadn't fixed it yet because they had no money to spare. I never knew they were that poor. For breakfast, there was only a piece of bread that had expired for 3 days. Ew. I immediately threw it away. After that, I was all alone in the house because Anna had to leave for a Christmas play rehearsal and Finn had left for work. While I was cleaning, suddenly Finn called me to say that he had forgotten his bag at home and asked me to help bring it. Just like that, I went to the amusement park where he was working. When the mission was completed, the moment I was leaving, out of nowhere, his boss asked me to be the replacement for an absent staff member. I wanted to refuse, but Finn quickly accepted the offer on my behalf. Needless to say, I was beyond angry. Finn, have you lost it?
Come on, Nora. Holiday wishes are tripled.
But I might be exposed.
Don't worry, no one will recognize you.
Turns out, this was the reason he was so confident. What a genius. Ugh. But it was true that for the whole day, nobody recognized me. I was anxious at first, but playing with the children had put a smile on my face. That night, we told the story to Anna, and the three of us had a dinner full of laughter. After that, we made gingerbread and decorated the house for Christmas together. It was the family feeling that I had been missing for so long. In the middle of the night, I called my parents and hoped that they had had a change of heart, but unfortunately, Warm family gatherings were definitely not in their mind.
Nora, if you don't come back before the Christmas concert, we'll take drastic measures.
You can stick your measures where the sun doesn't shine! I angrily hung up the phone. Unexpectedly, the next morning, my parents posted the news that I was missing and suspected of being kidnapped. Damn it, I couldn't even go out now. Finn was reassuring me when suddenly the door to his house opened and my parents and their bodyguards boldly walked in.
Nora, you ran away from home to live in this landfill?
Then my mom walked over to Finn. I quickly stopped her. Leave him alone! I'm the one to take responsibility, not him! What are you blabbering about, child? I just want to thank him. He informed us about you. Then she gave him a stack of cash. What? Finn betrayed me? I screamed in anger. Bastard! Are you so poor that you're willing to sell out your friend? His face suddenly darkened.
Yes, we're different and can't ever be friends.
After we had a huge fight, my parents forcefully dragged me home. After that incident, my life was back to the way it was. Although my parents tried to coax me into relaxing and forgetting about everything that had happened, I only felt empty inside. A few days later, the Christmas concert finally took place. When I walked on the red carpet, I ran into Jack, my ex-boyfriend. When the jerk saw me, he rushed over and suddenly told the press.
Nora and I will release a music video together next summer.
I whispered angrily to him. What nonsense are you spitting?
Oh, come on, doll. Haven't your parents told you yet?
I furiously pushed him away and hid in the dressing room to calm down. Why did my life suck so much? When I was in despair, I suddenly heard a familiar voice. Nora, are you okay? Anna, why are you here? Anna told me that she pretended to be an employee to sneak in here to meet me. Then she burst into tears. I'm sorry. It was me who snitched on you. Why did you do that? Turns out, when Anna learned that Finn might be considered a kidnapper for letting me hide at their house, she was so scared that she decided to call my parents to explain. They promised Anna that they would treat me better, but ended up taking me away. So why did Finn admit to selling me out? His pride was hurt when you said he was poor. He was angry, but he returned your mom's money after that. I was shocked and feeling extremely regretful. Those words must have hurt him deeply. Anna told me she would help me escape, but this time, I refused to run away. It's fine, Anna. It's time I fought my own battle. Then I fearlessly walked on stage. Standing in front of my fans, I confessed the truth that I had been slaving away because of my parents and declared that I would no longer obey their unreasonable demands anymore. From backstage, my parents got so pale and panicked that they urged Jack to stop me. When he came near me, I shouted, "And you, Jack? I'll never duet with a cheater who slept with my dancer." I threw the mic at him and the whole audience roared wildly. After that day, I was free from my parents' control. I also went to Finn to ask for his forgiveness, and he welcomed me back like an old friend. That season, for the first time, I felt a very Merry Christmas.